Hello everyone, my name is Crotcheteer from League of Legends. Today I will be fixing the high-end card FPS issue, which I just had figured out like an hour ago. I'm filming with my mobile camera because I couldn't find a proper working program for my desktop. For the record, I am using a Windows 10, the Technical Preview Edition. Okay, so let's go to my specs. My specs are very nice, I think. I'm using the ASRock 970 performance motherboard, the AMD FX 8150 8-core CPU, a SSD of 120 gigabytes, a Western Digital 1TB drive, and of course my R9 290X video card. Okay, so I guess we start with the issue itself. We'll open it and we create a custom game as usual because we want to test. Put a password here because I don't want people to join and to gank me while we are trying to fix a problem. So we just add some random computer components at this stage and we start the game. Oh, I choose a champion. We wait and then the game will of course start. I'm sorry if I shake a lot. I don't have a stand. I am using one hand, sorry, to hold my camera. Yeah. So League of Legends is starting up. And we're in the loading screen, and I will tell you something about this problem we've got. It's not your graphics card, it's probably not your motherboard, it's the game itself, the engine, how it works. With that I mean it's not generating enough processor usage, and therefore it's being treated like a normal procedure in your background. Normally applications will need some extra stressing on the processor, so basically what happens is that the mathematical formulas get handled easier. It's hard to explain if you don't know what I'm talking about, but this is a little bit insight on it. Now, I'm just buying some random stuff here, and you can see the FPS right now. Right now the FPS is at 60, and we're just gonna move right here at the jungle, and my FPS dropped from 60 to 40, 41, and it will drop even more. Keep an eye on that if you can. I'm trying to do two things at a time, so and I will die in this game. I'm not playing properly, I'm just showing you how to fix this problem if you have it. So we got 40 FPS right now, and now it's 28, and you can see it's really not stable regardless what we do. For your information, these are my video settings. Everything is on very high. I'm at a 2K resolution. It's uncapped and I'm waiting for a virtual sync. Well, that shouldn't be a problem if it works all together. Now, the minions have spawned just now. Where's the map? Here is the map. As you can see, the The minions are walking in front of Swain at this moment. Okay, and now the minions have spawned in my area. As soon as I get closer and fight one, you can see my frames are dropping. It's now 29, which is still okay, but it's lagging already, and it gets higher and higher the more when you get to people. So the more people, the lower FPS you will have, because your PC needs to do more calculations. To demonstrate that, we're going to go help mid lane at this stage, where there is Morgana. And Swain, of course. So I'm at 25, 27, 30. It's still okay right now, but you should not want these FPS rates, because they're terrible. Now I'm leaving mid. Let me zoom out. And we're going to bot lane, because there's about 4 people with me there, so that would be a great test. So I'm at 29, 28 FPS. I'm coming around the corner, just doing some stuff, probably dying, and you can see my FPS is dropping hard. It's 22, 19, now it's even 17, 19. So that's the issue we got. And sometimes it gets even worse when you get 5 against 5. Just imagine that this is with one person around you, and sometimes it gets even worse. So let's fix this issue right there in the top. So first of all, we're going to stand here where there is monsters and activity, which is logical, I think. When we are there, I'll show you some basics. So let's say it was our graphics card, and you can see the frames have dropped to 27, 28, 26, which means you are lagging on the FPS right now, but you don't see it yet. If you're below 25, you're gonna really experience it. So let's tab out here, go to my desktop, and let's say it was my video card, which it is not, because I have tested it this way, and I think this is the right way to test it. So what we see here over the past, these are the well, let me put it a little bit higher. This is the call clock in megahertz. You can see it went from idle to a little bit more actively do the game. Well, if you would think it is your graphics card, then simply, I don't recommend it, but you can overclock it. Well, let's overclock it at this stage. As you see now, it's running at 990 constantly, which means it should not generate lag from my graphics card. It will stay this rate stable the whole time. And what that does is nothing, as you see. Oh, let me zoom out for the camera. There. So it's still dropping. It's not stable. You want 60 frames at least to properly play your game. Well, let's go to the background. So I don't believe in this. We're going to set it back to original, because it doesn't work in my opinion. And we're gonna close this, and then we're gonna take a look at the CPU usage. And this is the CPU usage when the game has started, from the game has started, and at this stage it's using about 3% at 0.76 gigahertz, which is not a lot. So let's get back in the game and let's wait for it and see if the processor rate goes up in a moment when we switch back. You can see the FPS is still not very nice. Let's switch to a different screen, like so. Still 30 frames. Okay, I think we got some results. As you can see, the highest it may have gotten was about 1 gigahertz, which was right here. So now for the fix, I downloaded a processor overclocking tool, and I'm not going to overclock my processor because I feel like it doesn't need it at this stage. So we are not gonna do that. If you're running AMD, you have probably heard of AMD overdrive. You can overclock it, but that's not what we're gonna do. So I want to generate some more processor performance, because right now it's feeling like it's idle. It's doing stuff, but it's not showing it's doing it, for my feeling. So I went here and I put it on the CPU test integer calculation and stack operation. What that means is it will stack operations on top of each other and start trying to calculate with them, and each has a separate method of calculations. Okay, we started, and as you can see, it jumps up. It's about 16% of my processor. It could be more on yours, so be careful with that and check it first. Make sure you have the game running because you want to know it. Okay, so this one stays for an hour and we can run it longer if we want to. So this could be a temporary fix for you if you have about the same problems as I do. So we're running about 2 gigahertz right now, and the game seems to be crashing, but here are the FPS. Sorry. My camera isn't focusing. One moment. There we go. 60 FPS. And you know what? It's stable. Now to prove it, I'll restart the game with this thing open, and you have seen what the FPS was through the whole process of me doing this. I think I've started twice. Well, it doesn't matter. Let's see where the other instance is. Okay. Sorry, I had to sit straight. I'm loading it up again, and we should immediately see some differences with the FPS, of course. Not in the graphics, because it's not our graphics card which is causing this. It's not your processor either. It's the game that doesn't generate enough traffic to handle the data that comes from the game. So basically, the performance workers, they are sleeping or shifting shifts while it should not be doing so. And record my FPS, and you can see, whoa, as you can see, we're running stable. I haven't changed any settings. I only changed the fact that we're running some kind of benchmark right now on the background. We're still at 60 FPS. We will wait for the minions to come, so our FPS will drop. Again, if you have this issue, you will notice the same problem. You will also notice the problem only occurs when monsters or people are close to you, but some experience it even in the beginning, which is even worse in my opinion. Minions should spawn any moment. Let me zoom out. There we go. This is some proper view, I think, for you guys. I have been really mad about this case because I really wanted to play it, and I couldn't because the FPS would drop to 9, 10, 19, and I would be dead, and I couldn't do anything about it. Now, I'm running 60 FPS still, and my jungle should spawn any moment. Forgive me for playing with one hand. And that should be it. Now the FPS is still at 60 if you see it above. What I do is not important at this stage. Okay, 61 even. We're 2 minutes, almost 3 minutes in, and we don't have lag. Now let's stand in a lane where there's 2 people, minions, and some fight going on. Okay, so I'm still trying to arrive at the spot at this stage. I'm here with Blitzcrank, Dr. Mundo, and Karen. And I'm not trying to engage, I'm trying to generate traffic. I'm trying to see if the FPS will drop. And normally in fights, your FPS would drop terribly. As you see now, my FPS is still nice and sweet at 60. Okay, now it was at 45, but I died, so that's okay. Now, to prove my point, I'm going to turn off this test, and we're going to go back into the game. Immediately, you see my FPS is about 30, 40, 35, 40. So it's not 60 anymore, as it was stable before. This one is immediately unstable. So I'm walking to the lane, probably will die, as mentioned before. And here I'm coming. And I'm at 37 frames, which is not okay, but it's playable. 35 frames is playable. Below 35, it's not recommendable. Now I'm at 26, 27, 25. Now let's stand back a little bit here. Quickly put the test on. Okay, go back to the game, and I have 60 frames again, as you see. And it doesn't drop, doesn't do anything, it will stay about 60. Well, 55 in this case, because I died, I think. Well, I know for sure, but I died. So let's put on 2 tests on each of my CPU. Like, I did this on 1 core, and we can do it on all 7 cores, well, 8 cores if you count 0 as 1, and we will see what it does. So this generates about 52%, and it's 60 FPS, which means it's okay. Now, I'm not sure what's up with that, but I never see my FPS higher than 60, so I'm gonna stop this and see if I can get it higher than 60. I put a calculation test on and see what it does. While my processor does that, I'm gonna watch the FPS. Okay, so it seems not to be changing, but this is definitely the problem. I'm sorry for my English if it was too hard to understand. I'm sorry if you don't get my idea, but I think this is the problem we are getting with League of Legends. At least if you have the same conditions as I am. As you see right now, 40 frames, 41 frames. I open my program, I agree with their agreement, I go to stability tests, I take 1 core, doesn't have to be all of them, I take 1 core, and I start the integer calculation and stack operation. We go back to the game, and we are at 60 frames per second. To show you, I only have 1 game running on this screen. I am not switching between desktops. This is the same PC, so there you go. This is the fix that you always have wanted. It should have been fixed way earlier, but it didn't happen, and I hope Riot can now fix this problem. This was Crotcheteer from EU West, League of Legends, and I hope you will have it fixed with this solution. I know it's not a great solution. I know you don't want to stress your CPU over this game, but you might want to try it, because you can run it for, let's see, 7 days straight. Well, nobody is gonna stay awake for 7 days in a row and play League of Legends unless you don't have a life. So, thank you for watching, and good luck.